Thank you, Jason. The West Virginia University at Parkersburg Foundation has donated 8 acres of land to Wood County Schools to use as the site of a new Vienna Elementary School. WVUP President Dr. Tori Jackson appeared before the Board of Education during their meeting Tuesday to present the deed for the property donation. The 8 acres were a part of the former Ohio Valley University campus. That's land WVUP acquired in 2023 for its new Innovation and Technology Center, which opened its doors to students at the beginning of the 2025 fall semester. Jackson says supporting local public schools coincides with WVUP's broader mission of enriching educational opportunities in the Mid-Ohio Valley.
Well, of course, at WVUP, education matters most to us, and it matters on every level, and that's the reason why we do so many projects to encourage education growth at elementary, middle, high school, all the levels, because it's not just important at the collegiate level.
Wood County School Superintendent Christy Willis said she was delighted by the donation, saying it reflects, quote, a shared commitment to education and the future of our community, end quote. The new Vienna Elementary is one of 3 new elementary schools in the district scheduled to open for the 2027 school year.